We are previewing Week 17 in the NFL here at SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, who's back in the saddle. Tells me he had a great week at his website last week. And Washington, Dallas is what we're going to take a look at now. Joe Duffy, first off, Washington is locked into the 4th seed in the playoffs. So this game literally means nothing for Washington, right? And in Dallas, we know what their deal is, right? They're going to be going with Kellen Moore again. You know, they're just winding down the season, but, you know, still appear to be playing tough on defense and still at least appear to be, giving Kellen Moore a shot to show what he can do, even if it's in a game where the opponent doesn't care. Dallas is a 3.5-point home favorite. The total is 40. As of right now, I have no opinion on this game. I would have been leaning under. Dallas has been going under recently, but it's a very low total for a game like this where Washington might not put up that strong of a defensive resistance here. I don't know. Dallas minus 3.5 and 40. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I'm going to have to use that word again. Washington, look, they're probably going to be vanilla because they don't want to show anything that could be used in the first round against them. They are in the playoffs. I do think momentum is important. At least in recent years, momentum has seemed to have actually meant something where teams have kind of backdoored their way into the playoffs. And as wildcard teams, we've obviously seen wildcard teams win the Super Bowl right in the division. Remember the New York Giants, each of their last two Super Bowl wins, they had to get hot at the end of the year. So momentum does count for something. As far as Dallas, look, it kind of takes any spoiler motivation. It's not like the Cowboys can spoil all that much by winning this game. We know that they are hated rivals. Cowboys have had such a disappointing year. You can kind of understand where some of their veterans, again, Week 17 is the only time that I really think that some of the veterans will kind of take it a little bit easy and say, let's just hit the golf course. And you can see where Dallas would have plenty of motivation to do that. As I said, it's not like they can rain on Washington's parade or anything like that. So I understand where you're coming from. I do think, again, that magic word, both of these teams would probably be fairly vanilla. But I've got to really question how much, though, the Redskins have prepared for Dallas this week, since the game doesn't mean all that much. So maybe a slight advantage to Dallas, but I'm implying that I actually know for a fact that Washington's done less game planning than they would. But, you know, another one of those tough games, there's a reason I got this game by default. I can understand why nobody else particularly wanted it, so I don't really have a strong opinion either way on this game.
All right, so it's going to be a pass for you officially, Joe Duffy?
It will officially be a pass for me.
All right, I think usually I give a pick, but this one you really don't know. Maybe some intel will come in by kickoff that might indicate that there's a play on this one with value. That's possible, right, Joe?
I do think that, yeah, there's no reason for Dallas and Jason Garrett to be coy about what his player rotation is, kind of like the preseason where coaches are kind of honest about their player rotation. I can see that maybe Garrett might be a little bit more honest about it, and that could certainly move the line. So, yeah, some intel could definitely come in on this game. And then same thing for Washington. There's no reason for them to be coy. They might say, you know what, I'm just going to play the starters for 4 series or for 15 snaps and whatever, and then I'll bring in the backups after that. So I think the line would move on intel like that.
You know what? I actually am leaning towards the under, even at 40, although at such a low total, I'm definitely not in love with it. Joe Duffy, thanks for your thoughts on all of these tough games in Week 17. The key, the important stuff comes at your website, OffshoreInsiders.com. That's where your top plays, your big plays go every week, and you're coming off a great week, right, Joe? Tell us about that.
It is. It's been a spectacular year, absolutely a phenomenal year. Had a little bit of a mini slump that started around Thanksgiving, but that's long gone. 90%, we've hit 9 out of our last 10. Wise Guy plays college and pro football. Closing out 2016, it's another spectacular year. Just visit OffshoreInsiders.com every day. This is the week where there's football every single day, so visit whatever day you're watching this. Visit. We're going to have some big winners at OffshoreInsiders.com.
Thanks so much, Joe Duffy.
All righty. Thank you, Peter Loshak.